going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. You know who it is. Your boy John.
It's me.
It's this guy.
The White Belt Slayer.
Back at it again?
I am here.
Not blue belts?
I don't think the only blue belt I rolled with this week fucking clapped my cheeks.
Have you ever had this?
Yeah.
It's so good. It
Yeah.
literally tastes like Welch's grape juice.
Those are like doing tweak. I mean, I never done tweak, but I know you like to get wet. You know what I mean? Those things are wild.
They don't really give me like crazy...
those things fuck me up.
They're just so good. There's a lot of caffeine. I think 200 milligrams.
That's not a lot, but it's like those things are 150, right? Is that what it says?
Whatever this shit is.
Yeah,
Alpha, GPC.
Yeah, those aren't crazy caffeine-wise, but they make me real jittery. I like the flavors. They have a couple flavors that legit. I like. Yeah. Did I roll with any white belts this week? I don't know. I trained a bunch. You train?
I did.
Tell me about your training.
What about my training? Train.
What days do you train? Every day?
No.
3 days a week?
I don't remember what days. I think I trained Friday.
That sounds like some shit. Friday? You're starting at Friday?
No, I trained Friday. That's the closest day to today. I trained Friday. I trained Wednesday. Tuesday. I don't think I went Monday.
I thought you're always in the gym. Monday. I thought it's just what you do.
I am always in the gym.
I'm always in the gym.
I'm always in the gym. Like we said, 60% of the time, 90%
no, it's not even 60. You're not even at 60 yet.
Oh.
60 would be 4 days.
Oh, well, close enough.
Yeah, I guess.
Close enough.
You had some good rolls or no?
Yeah, I had some good rolls. Yeah. It was a good time.
Why don't you go on Monday?
I don't remember. I don't even remember if I went Monday. You know, getting old, my memory, it's going.
You're old as fuck, dog.
Old as fuck.
You're 47 years old now.
47.
Yeah, I went. I didn't train Monday or Tuesday because I was sick. I was still a little bit congested. But then I taught teens on Wednesday. Then I caught a roll because the teens class ends early, so I caught a roll and beat up fucking Josue. And then
you did the comp class.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
Oh,
I'm not that
quite
far.
Oh, you're working there.
Yeah, I'm working through my week.
Okay, got you.
And then I printed some shirts for Combat Base.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
right.
They invited me to go train out there, so I went and trained out there on Thursday. They just do an open mat. And it was like, did I walk in? I met Chris and Melissa. I've mostly talked to Melissa. I've talked a little bit with Chris, but his wife, if you haven't listened to the Combat Base podcast, they're both great people. Chris Howder's like one of the, who they call the Dirty Dozen.
Yeah.
First 12 American black belts. They have a really good podcast that talks about the history, so I'd love to get Chris on, or I would actually like to get Melissa on to hear a female perspective, because she's a 3-stripe, so she's been training. She's a black belt for at least 9 years.
Yeah.
She's out there doing it, and she seems pretty good. But they invited me to go train, and so they have their gym is in the garage, maybe about a little bit big, about as big as my garage, and it's in their backyard, and it was the gym that Higan Machado had in the 90s.
Is it a house?
It's at a house.
So Higan used to own that house?
Somebody used to own that house or rent that house, and I think it was right when the Machados broke off from the Gracies. They had that little studio back there, and then somehow Chris took it over. I don't know the story. I never asked, but Chris took it over, and so I roll up, and I'm talking to Melissa, and this English or Australian dude walks up. They're chatting. We're all chatting, and then I was like, "Is there a place for me to change?" And she's like, "Yeah, just change in a corner over there. No one cares." I was like, "All right." So I started changing, and then 4 of the black belts show up. And I'm like, oh, so it's all these black belts and just me, just hanging out. And then, so I'm sitting there chatting with everybody. I'm starting to catch rolls, and I'm not playing aggressive. I'm just sitting down playing half guard. It's a small space, so I'm not trying to do judo with anybody or stand up. And I did okay. I didn't really get destroyed, but I also wasn't trying. And I mean, nobody was really trying. Everyone's just flowing. But so the combat-based podcast, the producer, his name is Tobin. He trains jiu-jitsu too. He's a black belt. I thought he was a purple belt because they did a story. They did like a whole series episode about him, and I think they only got to the point where he was a purple belt. So I didn't know he was a black belt. So I recognized him from the podcast. Then he puts on his belt. It's like, oh shit, he's a black belt. I didn't know that. I catch a roll with somebody else, and he's like, hey, do you want to roll? And I was like, all right. So we start rolling, and I have him like double unders, and he starts to grab the grips for a fucking teepee choke. And I was like, in my head, I was like, he seems strong. He seems like a good black belt. I was like, but get the fuck out of here. You're not fucking catching me the teepee choke. The only person that's ever done to me is Jay, and Jay's a fucking giant.
Yeah.
And I was like, I disrespected the fuck out of this teepee choke. And I was like, bitch, get out of here. And he starts like squeezing it, and I was like, that ain't player. And I go cross the body to grab across the neck to start passing. And this fool fucking locked it up. He almost put me to sleep with a fucking teepee choke. It was the craziest thing.
Teepee chokes are legit.
Yeah, and then I was talking to him afterwards because I rolled with him. I rolled with so like maybe like 15 minutes after the open mat starts, 20 minutes after the open mat starts, judo dude walks in, puts on a purple belt, and I'm like, dude, you're wearing a Kitsukura gi, which is like a $500 gi. Like it's like everyone knows about Show Your Roll or like AP or like these flashy brands.
But
this dude rolls in with a judo gi, and he's got the judo patch on the back of it, like a world patch or a USA patch. And he puts on a purple belt, and he's wearing like a $500 gi, and I was like, oh, this motherfucker's in here sandbagging, right? And I trained with him, and he hit me with, the first time he hit me with Ouchigara, and he lifted me in the air and dropped me. With the Ouchi's like an inside trip. Throws me, and then I roll with somebody else, and he's like, hey, do you want to catch another one? And like we just went back and forth. Like, he took me down, but he couldn't. I don't think he even passed me. I just held him in the half guard, and I swept him a couple. We kept sweeping each other back and forth. Then he's like, hey, do you want to roll again? And I was like, all right. And then this time he took me down with like this weird foot hook. It's like a weird foot sequence. Again, like the way he took me down, Kazushi was so crazy, my feet lifted off. So like the off balancing thing was somehow he hooked my foot, and what you do is you hook a foot, and then you pull all their weight onto where your leg should be. So it like lifts you in the air, it throws you so quick and so hard your feet lift in the air, right?
Interesting.
And he blasts all the judo throws are that way.
Yeah.
You're supposed to put someone where they're not supposed to be, right? Off balancing.
Yeah.
So he throws me, and then we start going. And he starts going hard, and he passes my guard, and the judo guys don't really fuck around. They're always there to get after it. So I swept him, and then I put him in the paper cutter, and he did not want to tap. And I was like, yo, dude, he's probably 150 pounds, smaller Japanese dude or Asian dude. He's probably look Japanese to me. And I'm hitting him, and he's not choking, he's not tapping. I was like, congratulations, you played yourself, homie. Full blast on it, and he still wouldn't tap. I was like, what the fuck? Finally, he's like gurgling, and he taps, and I was like, oh shit, and I just like ducked him I walked around for the rest of the mat, and walked away from his ass. So
you got yours. You're like,
yeah,
all right,
I was like, time's up, dog. I was looking at the clock too because I had him in side control, and I was looking at the clock, and I was like, okay. There's a minute left. Should I start this choke yet? Because if I tap him, there's going to be 30. There's going to be 30 seconds of fury. But he was cool. I want to go train with him. He teaches at some school.
Is he a black belt in judo?
Yeah. He's an instructor. He's a sensei somewhere. He gave me his number, so I'm gonna hit him up and see where he's at. But man, his footwork is crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then
how are the mats? Like, what kind of mats they have?
They're nice.
Are they like roll up mats, or like is it legit?
No, it's legit.
100% just a garage gym.
Yeah, it's 100%. They have I'm pretty sure they're made. Have you ever seen that video in Hender's talking about how they made the mats? I'm pretty sure that's what their mats are.
Ah, okay.
So like they have like that giant
piece
piece over it, and then pretty thick. The
I think
mats
that's
are really
cool because
comfortable.
your toes don't get stuck in the fucking.
Yeah, I don't like those mats as much because they're slippery comparatively to Tommy's.
Yeah.
But if they made, so I saw a company in Brazil makes that, and it's a Tommy.
Oh.
But they don't sell them. They don't
too.
sell them. You have to have them install your shit.
Oh shit.
So you'd have to bring them from Brazil to do it. They do stuff here in the U.S., but you got to bring them from Brazil to do it because they bring the tarps and shit with them. They ship them here.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would do that. I've trained at a couple other places that have those, and they're cool. But I like the grip on the tatami better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a cool experience there. And then I taught Friday morning, got a couple rolls in, and then there was that competition class on Friday, and then Omar told me about it. Little Omar did, and then I didn't really think about it, and I hit him up like at 9. I was like, hey, is that going on still? And I didn't see him respond because we talk on WhatsApp. Then he responded to me, and then I saw it like 25 minutes before class started. So I was like, oh, I'll be there. I ran inside, grabbed my gi, and just dipped out there. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. Fucking, it was a rough hour and 15 minutes of fucking pain. And then I trained judo Saturday.
Yeah, I know that class is hard because the boys come home sweaty, and they'll do class normally, and they're not even breaking the sweat.
Yeah.
And they were drenched when they came back.
It was rough.
that must have been a good workout.
Yeah, it was rough. And Omar was saying, he's like, I'm not teaching techniques. If you're coming, it's not for like beginners. If you're coming here, you're gonna do what we're gonna do. If you're hurt, leave. Don't sit down. Just leave. If you get hurt, leave. If you're hurt when you come in, don't come in. Like, this is for people that want to train.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to work it till it's an hour and a half, and if people can make an hour and a half, I'm going to work it till it's 2 hours. And it's rough, dude. And he's all, this is the exact comp classes we ran with Hoyler when everybody was doing the Worlds. Like, when Gracie Maito was on top, this was the comp classes they did. And it wasn't like okay, let's do a warm-up thingy and then a sparring thingy. It was a warm-up, situational sparring. Another warm-up-ish thing, situational sparring. Another warm-up, sparring. Another warm-up, sparring. And it was I was dying, dude. I was fucking dying.
Yeah. I mean, you could totally see how it would be good for your comp.
Yeah.
Your cardio would be insane.
Yeah, and I think like the shock too, like, okay, we're doing this now, we're doing that, now we're doing this, and then Saturday I trained judo, and like, dude, by the first fucking lap I wanted to quit. When we started warming up, we did the first jogging, I was like, I hadn't trained, I don't know why I was so sore, but I woke up Friday morning dead. Mm-hmm. Then I went to that comp class, even deader. I lost all the skin on my face. And then fucking Saturday morning, I'm trying to fucking not die. Literally the first lap, and I was about to be like, this ain't for me today.
Some days are like that where like you go out and you just a basic warm up and you're like,
yeah,
I'm off. Today's not my day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like my forearm has been cramping for like 3 or 4 days.
Maybe not enough water.
No, dude, I've been drinking like the electrolyte drinks and water like crazy. It's just weird. Something cramping. Something.
Get some magnesium. That usually helps too with cramps and shit.
I know you're real big on vitamin D, so.
This fucking guy. You can't go without. You just can't. You can't contain yourself.
I can't. It's crazy because, like, I mean, you're the host. I'm the talent.
Have you been watching? I know you. I think you said you haven't been watching the UFC BJJ show.
No, but let me watch it this week and let's talk about it next week.
Well, one thing I was gonna say is because they're already almost over with the season.
I think it's done. I think it ended yesterday.
Then I saw the last episode today. One of the episodes today, but It wasn't the finals. So.
No, I swore I saw.
Maybe they just haven't released it because usually, obviously, they probably did it yesterday and then they'll release it today or something. But the one thing I was gonna say is, I used to watch The Ultimate Fighter, the show, like in the very beginning, and I liked it.
I liked it, yeah.
But then they started doing all these stupid things like horseback riding and fucking, and I was like, I'm not gonna watch this. I'm not watching it for this.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind watching the interaction between people and the conversations, but I don't want to watch you compete in fucking archery, like whatever. So that's one thing I would say I like about this is they don't do all that bullshit.
Oh, they're not doing that?
No, they're real. It's like, boom, a little bit of conversation, into the match.
That's how the flow one was too. They did.
So
things.
it's like boom, 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 and so like 30 minutes maybe when they do 2 at once, like maybe 40 minutes, but it's like. It's legit. Like I was like, all right, it holds my attention because it's not, oh, we're gonna do archery, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Plus, obviously, they go into a little bit of the stories. You know, what's it? Is it Andrew Tackett that's in there?
The
younger one is Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew. Yeah,
he's in. I mean, you saw him, and you're like, oh, I already know. This dude's gonna fuck everyone up.
I mean, it's already out there, so I'm not spoiling it. But he didn't make it to the finals.
I didn't watch it yet, so.
No, Kevon is one of the finalists, who's a savage. He's the guy that's talking about fucking CLA or the jiu-jitsu where you don't teach anybody. Ecological. So the ecological guys don't like to be called ecological.
Well, he just lost.
They want to be called.
Is that the guy from Bodega?
Yeah.
Oh, he lost.
Oh, I saw a picture like showed him in the final, like the top last.
Oh, maybe someone got hurt.
I was like 4 people. It just showed 4 people over at the end.
Yeah, it could be someone got hurt on the last one because I just watched. Yeah, I know he lost.
Okay.
At points. I think I watched it today. Yeah, there was a scene where they were like chilling at all having dinner, and Mikey's like, "So tell me about this ecological," and he's like, "God, it's like politics, you know?" It's like,
well, it's not new. People have been doing it forever. I mean, we do it now.
It's positional sparring.
Yeah, we do it.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we put constraints on it. That's what CLA means, constraint-led approach. It's like, yeah, we put constraints on it, and it's like, okay. So like we do the same exact. I mean, not we. I'm not saying that. Say we do it the other way, but if you're learning jiu-jitsu, you learn both ways. If you're not, there's probably a hole in your game.
So yeah, someone was saying like, it's because they don't teach moves, right? So they put you in positions and then let you learn it.
Yep.
And so I think it was Mikey or someone was like, someone was saying like, in everything in humanity we learn from what's being passed down. And what's being passed down, like. When you make a car, you didn't just make the car. Like you started from here and that information, and then you have a car. And now you learned all it. And he's like, why would you do this different? Like there's all this knowledge in jiu-jitsu, and then you're telling this guy to learn from scratch with no like technique. Yeah.
So Kevon is not even. I don't know if that's how you say his name. I think it is. He's not even like the main guy of this. He's just loud on the internet. He's not loud, but he's known on the internet. So people talk to him a lot about it because he teaches this way. But the main dude is another guy The guy who's running the Misfits North America team for CJI, he's the guy who started it, or he's like one of the main guys, and he got it from a book that's about like baseball or about like other pro sports. Some dude or some lady wrote a book about this like in the late '90s, I think, and he read that book and started implementing that at his school. But again, it's not new. Like going back to this comp class we did on Friday, Omar said that he ran it exactly how Hoyler ran his comp classes. Well, it wasn't Hoyler. I don't think was leading him. It was somebody else because Hoyler was competing. But whoever was running those comp classes in this method were doing the same thing. It's like, we're not here to teach you. You have to know how to do jiu-jitsu. Here is your situation. Do it, right? Yeah. And it's like, I can understand doing that CLA stuff if you're not a white belt. Because it's like now you're just spazzing
you already
out
know
trying
the
to
techniques.
do stuff. But when you're doing it as other belts, you already know the techniques.
Yeah.
So it's like, and you don't have to do a step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 technique, but you understand a knee cut or a knee slice, and you understand how to smash pass. You understand how to stack pass. You understand how to over under. Like you understand. I mean, I don't do this at Apollo, but like you understand these things because you've been around jiu-jitsu, where your goal is to pass the guard, and the person on bottom's goal is
versus not knowing anything as a white belt, and then you're expected to like.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
It seems to me like you would gain a lot of bad habits and they would never go away. And that could be beneficial because you're doing weird off-the-wall shit. But at the same time, it's like you don't have the base. You don't have the fundamentals. Like if someone didn't explain to me the idea of base, I would never have base.
Yeah.
And I know that because someone didn't explain the idea of base to me because I was a fucking blue belt when I learned base. You know what I mean? It's like, so I know, and I didn't have base. And little by little, upper belts were explaining to me base. And by the time I got to a certain part, I understood it enough where I can start to use base.
Yeah.
And now, like when I roll with white belts, like yesterday, I was getting fucking cheeks clapped by everybody, or on Friday at that comp class. Then I caught that big white belt dude. I can't remember his name. He's got the curly hair. He's in the picture. And the idea was to hold the person down in side control. Person on top holds the person on bottom, but you could sweep or do whatever. He went knee on belly on me and mounted me, and I was dead. I was like, fuck. But I was like, he's trying to crush me, but he left his hips light, and I just swept him, and I smashed him. And he, like, looked at me, because he saw everyone else whooping my ass, and he, like, looked back at me, and it was just like, how did that happen? And I was like, you're big, and you put all your weight on your top. Your bottom is light, and I moved you because you don't have base. And he just, like, looked at me like, what the fuck is base? And I was like, now is what you learn what base is. But if you're just saying, hold this person down, and you keep getting swept, and the other person doesn't understand the idea of base or is not particularly explaining it to you,
you're not going to get it.
You're not going to get it.
Or it's going to take longer to get it.
That's why I don't understand the CLA approach, because, like, okay, you go to a gym, and, like, gyms they're organic, and everybody teaches, right? If you're in a good gym, even a bad gym, but if you go to a gym, everybody there is showing you something. The instructor is showing you 10% of what you know. The rest of the game you kind of develop on your own, right? I guarantee you go to like Kevon's gym or you go to this other guy's gym, and there are other guys there who aren't from the CLA, the free CLA methodology, who are like, hey, try doing the triangle like this. And you put it into your thing, but the instructor is like, no, okay, we don't teach moves. He's not going to go in there and say, no, don't teach them that. I want them to learn organically. So there's never going to be 100% CLA approach gym, and there'll never be a not CLA approach gym. They're cohesive thoughts. They work together.
They work together.
So I don't understand this like gap in the void, or this gap between the two methods. They're not two methods. They're one method. It's jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I can't pull a gun out. If you want to say we're not teaching moves, fuck you. I'll pull a gun out. What's up? Yeah. I win.
Yeah.
That's a move for me.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I get it. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, 100%. It's not new.
It's not new.
But to only teach it, I don't know. How do they tend to? Obviously, what's his name? Is a good black belt, but he didn't. That's not how he started learning, right?
I can't imagine so. No, it's a pretty new thing in the jiu-jitsu world, like 3-4 years. Maybe not even that long, but it just goes back to wrestling as a kid. Like, at some point when you're a child, you've seen a rear naked choke. Maybe you didn't see it in the UFC, or you know it's a choke that you could get, right? Putting your forearm across someone's neck and pulling is a choke you learn. And as you're a kid, you figure that out when you're wrestling around with people.
Yeah.
So it's a lifetime thing. CLA is not a unique idea. It's just trying. I don't know. I don't have anything against it. I'm just saying it's like, it's not a special thing.
I mean, I'm wondering, like, do their guys have a lot of success in tournaments?
One or two people that I've ever heard of.
But I'm talking about guys that only came up through that system.
There isn't any.
Not that started here, like you said.
Yeah.
You already know fundamentals and your moves, and now you're thrown in, and so you know what to do,
Yep.
and you can use those in those situations. But I mean, from like 0 to purple or brown or whatever, are they successful?
I can't imagine there's anybody out there that only learned that way. I don't think that way of instruction exists. I don't think it exists.
I mean, that's what they're saying they do.
Yeah,
right?
but like I said, let's say you're from Gracie Baja and you trained there for 3 months and you left and you like Kevon and you go train at his gym. Well, you know fundamentals.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, hey, you tried to triangle me, but you messed up. Try doing this.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's no longer CLA.
Yeah.
It's fucking just jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
right?
it's just jiu-jitsu.
So I don't think you can. I don't think that kind of methodology can exist in a vacuum because you would have to grab a student and isolate them from the world. You'd have to take them away from the world. You take the internet away. You take away all their training partners. You basically just give them a dummy and say the dummy has resistance. You have to have 2 people. 2 people and a coach. The coach gives you the constraints, and then the 2 people have to be isolated from the world. No internet, no other people. They have to live in a bubble in order to see if that works.
Works, yeah.
Because the internet exists. So every student is the same. They go home and they look at shit.
Well, I mean, I've seen on Reddit where people are like, "Hey, I live in a small town. I don't have jiu-jitsu near me, but I want to learn." And it's like, do you think I can learn jiu-jitsu in my garage just watching YouTube videos? I mean, technically you're still learning a technique, but like it's kind of like you're not actually learning from somebody like physically correcting you, kind of doing things. I kind of think it was similar to that, but people are like, no, that's just not going to fucking work.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have someone.
So I think you could learn jiu-jitsu absolutely on your own. Could you implement it? No.
Effectively, yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't. It wouldn't be effective. I mean, Henry does that shit. It's the Gracie Academy. It's the Gracie Academy or the Gracie University, whatever the fuck it's called online. You learn at your house, and at some point you need to go to the academy to get like some sort of belt. Well, I don't know which belt it is. I think it's a black belt. But if you have a grappling dummy, you could perfect the motions of an armbar or a switch armbar or something like that. But doing it on someone that's moving is different. That's why in traditional jiu-jitsu, in teaching, especially like as you're starting to go through the belts and become an upper belt, you punish the lower belts. And it's not because you want to be mean to them. It's because you want to learn new techniques. I'm not going to hit a new technique on you.
Right.
But I'm going to smash a new white belt with a new technique because they don't know anything. Then you start to understand, okay, when he moves this way, I move this way. He moves this way, I move this way, right?
And now you can try to blue belt.
Then you
work your way up.
You work your way up, right?
Yeah.
And then eventually you might have a move or 2 that you could hit on black belts.
Yeah, yeah.
But you can't hit it. But you know you have other things you can't hit on them, right? There's no perfect grappler. There's nobody that beats everybody all the time. It doesn't exist. Like at our gym, it's Kyle. Kyle fucking smashes everybody. But I've seen him lose. I've seen him lose a bunch. But at our gym, he's the top guy, but he's not the top guy in the world.
Yeah.
You know, there's no top guy in the world. Nobody always wins.
Eventually you lose.
Or you lose before you become great.
Yeah.
Like Gordon lost a lot before he became great.
Well, there's a lot of people. If you look at who is it? It was like he lost everything up until like brown or black. Was it Buchecha?
Buchecha, purple.
He was like
he lost everything. Till purple or
and
brown.
then all of a sudden it was like boom, win, and then it was like nonstop from there. But there was a whole just of losses, constantly losing till bam, the switch happened. Yeah. And he's freaking one of the greatest.
Yeah. And I was talking to James a couple weeks ago. So I say James was talking about this 2 or 3 weeks ago. We're doing training, and he's just talking shit. Which is like the methodology he uses, talking shit while we're training. And he's like, y'all want to be good at judo? You got to quit your life. So you got to leave your wife. You got to leave your girlfriends. You got to quit your job. You got to be on the mats.
Well, he sound like what's his name? Alf.
Yeah. You got to quit everything.
If you look at the pros,
that's probably what happened to Buchecha. He graduated high school or whatever, and just nothing else mattered. Just jiu-jitsu. Nothing beats time.
Maybe
on the
he had
mats.
a girlfriend break up with him, and he was like, "Fuck this shit."
Yeah, he went through his little arc, his little villain arc.
Yeah.
If you want to be great at anything, nothing else matters.
Yeah.
And my goal is to get there.
You have to be obsessed.
Yeah, you have to be. Oh, I'm obsessed now, but I don't have unlimited time to put towards it. I have to have time to have other commitments. So that's why one of my goals is to open a school. Is because open a school, you're on the mat
all the time.
Look at Roger. Look at Roger Ruiz. Like, he was always good at jiu-jitsu. but he was also a fucking menace. And a lot of his skill in jiu-jitsu is because he was willing to go places other people weren't.
Yeah.
He was always on 10 when other people were on 2, just taking souls. Now he owns a school. He's on the mats hours a day, teaching, understanding the moves at a different level than he did before. Level. And now he's taking your soul with like 0 effort. He's rolling with people and he's just fucking with them and smashing them. Like, I went to his school a couple weeks ago, and I rolled with him, and we're playing around. I'm doing pretty good in the half guard. And he gets out of my half guard, goes north-south, and wrist locks me. I was like, what the fuck?
I 100% think that, like, if you teach classes, your game gets better. Because, one, you're trying to teach, and in order to be successful at teaching, it's not just showing the move, it's understanding why you do why do you put your hand here? Why do you frame here? Why do you move your hips this way? And as you understand, as you're making sure that you're ready to teach a particular move, like, I don't really teach, but sometimes Omar will ask me to teach a class, and when I'm teaching something, that's something that goes through my head before I even start teaching. It's like, all right, make sure I understand all the whys that you do this position, why you hold here, why you do this, and why you do that. And then as you're teaching it, it's also absorbing that little information on you. So now when you roll, it's more like, it's just there, like muscle memory, right? Yeah. And so I think teaching is like huge for you if you want to get better as well. I think it's I might maybe not make it your life. Like, if you're trying to be pro, if you look at the top guys, they're not really teaching, that much, but they teach.
But their life is the mats.
And they're always on the mat. They're always on the mats.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying on teaching. I have a hard time teaching because our classes aren't long enough.
Short, yeah.
In order for me to teach a technique, I need 30 or 40 minutes. Because when I teach, I try to teach every detail of it to the best of my ability so you understand. So, like, if I'm teaching, like, the paper cutter, I can't just show you the paper cutter. It doesn't make sense. Like, and that's how a lot of people teach. Here's the move. There you go, right? So I'm showing you, how do I get to the paper cutter? This is how I get there most likely. Okay, now I'm in side control. So I pass the guard. This is the method I like to use to pass a guard. It works pretty good for me. I have 3 or 4 decent guard passes. None of them are high level, but I got 3 or 4 pretty good guard passes that I can get to where I want to go. Yeah. Okay, I get to side control because the paper cutter for me starts from side control. That's where I started at. And then I don't do the traditional side control where I either hug the head or I go over the shoulder and between the legs. I don't do that. Like the 4-corner hold from judo, I don't do that side control. I stopped doing it. What I do in side control is I put my elbow over someone's face, I bend their neck towards me, and I stop the hip on the same side. So my hands are the opposite.
So you can't roll the opposite way because your head's facing you. Yeah. But then you're also blocking him.
I'm blocking the hip from turning into me. So that's my method of side control. And Omar has showed it, but he's never broke it out in a detail like that of why you do it. And that's exactly why I do it. I want to pin them. And they're not pinned so much. They can wiggle around, but they can't turn.
Yeah, they can't turn.
It's very hard to turn. You can turn, but it's hard. So I go there. And that sets up my hands for when I go north-south. So I slide my body into north-south. And my hand is already on the underside. As I slide my body north-south, I shove my hand under the armpit and I grab the collar. Then once I grab the collar, I got like 10 variations of how to hit it from there. But I want to show all those details. It's not just grab the collar, bring the neck over, bring the hand over with the gi, right? There's so many different ways. And like the way Juan showed me how to hit it better by pinning your head on their chest. I like the way Omar does it. Omar bullies motherfuckers into it. And like he'll grab the collar from under the armpit, and then he puts his thumb almost touching his other hand like a baseball bat choke and whips it around like a loop. And like he has the tightest one I've ever felt. Yeah. And then Leo showed me another way how to do it. And I take all those ways and I put them together. So it's like I think I could do a week on just the paper cutter. I think I could do a 5-hour like seminar on just the paper cutter. Because I would show all the different ways to get there. Like if I pass, I like to pass to the left. So if I pass to my left, this is how I set it up. But if you won't, but I don't like to over/under pass to the left. If I over/under pass, I like to pass to the right. So if I'm over/under passing or if I'm double under passing to the right, I have a different way to set up that paper cutter because I still don't want to do it from the right side of the body. I want to do it from the left side. So I show how to roll around the body to get to that position. And then it's like, okay, I show you the basic movements of it. Okay, now your opponent's better than you. What happens when they start to escape? Well, this is my methodology of how to get them to stop escaping and how I bully the paper cutter on them, right? So I could teach a whole week on just that move.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how we got on that tangent. About teaching makes you better.
About teaching makes you better. Yeah.
So, and like, I'm not an expert at jiu-jitsu. I would say I'm a mid-level. I'm like, a mid-level person in the game. But I want to teach because I want to learn the skills of teaching. So I don't teach shit that I don't do. I'm not teaching armbar from the guard because I am terrible at it. I know it's a day one thing you should be good at, but that does not work with my body.
Yeah.
I can do a decent triangle. I got a pretty good decent triangle from the guard. I have a decent omoplata from the guard, but I don't play guard ever.
Yeah.
Like, you have to force me into the guard for me to be like, oh, that's funny. So when I was rolling at combat base, I was rolling with this big dude. And I mean, this dude would have fucking taken my soul. And he was younger. So he was probably about my age, about 40. All the other guys were a little bit older. He was probably about my age. And he's big. He was like 6'2", 6'4", probably 260. A big fucking dude. Not like in shape, but he was just a big fucking guy. And he like John Wayne swept me with no hands. And I was like, so I'm in the half guard, and I push his half guard down, and he went to like a low knee shield, like how you start the scissor sweep. And then he straightened his legs out. And I was like, oh, I'm about to pass this full guard. Because I didn't even have to, my knee was clear. And I go to start like smash passing, and he didn't have my hands. He just rolled his hips over. So it's exactly the John Wayne movement, but
it's almost
no
like
hands.
Misa's lasso, and he gets it super deep.
Yeah.
If he's failing on the lasso, he almost goes, he shoves his leg all the way through and like crosses his feet.
Yeah.
So his feet are touching.
Yeah.
And he kind of goes belly down, and then he just goes whoop, and he flips over. And you're just like, what the fuck? And he just ends up going over.
Yeah, but he did it from his back, so he was like on the side because he was in half guard. Then I pushed his knee down. Somehow his knee got down. Then I felt him cross his legs and just rolled. And he just took me with him. And I was like, what the fuck? And he's laughing. Then we're sitting there playing in the guard, and I put like a cross choke on him, but I didn't want to pull it because I had it kind of across his face. And then in the cross choke, I went to knee shield, and I went to go, I was just fucking around. I was going to scissor sweep him. And I yanked him, and I got him like halfway because I went like full blast on the scissor because he was a big dude. And I almost got him, and then the time ran out. And he was like, hey, try this next time. Because, I went omoplata on him. I tried to go omoplata, and he just like moved his hips, and like I got stuck. And I went back, and I tried to scissor sweep him. And I laughed. I was like, oh, that's not going to work. And then he was like, hey, when you go omoplata, he's like, you went scissor sweep afterwards. I was like, yeah. And I was like, I don't play guard, so I was just fucking around. But he was like, try this version of a scissor sweep. And he showed me this other version, and he's like, I'm going to defend it. I want you to do it. He showed it to me, and it's like, all right, I'm going to hold it. And I do it, and I moved him over. I was like, God damn. He's like, dude, that is the way I like to do it. And he's like, that way takes everybody over. And I was like, oh, shit. It was pretty cool. I'll explain it. So he went scissor sweep, but instead of going like knee across the body and hooking the body and pulling him, he lifts his leg up like omoplata, and he catches you behind the head and brings you down from the head. So he's pulling your arm, and your foot is on the back of his head, and he pulls it down. It's like, you know how when you go...
so he's kicking his leg all the way up?
All the way up, and then down, like an axe, like this.
So kind of like a pendulum sweep, almost.
No,
you're going that way.
It's more like a flower sweep.
Or a flower sweep,
it's like a flower sweep, but imagine an omoplata movement. So if you go omoplata, and it's even better if you can stuff the hand between your legs.
So is he holding that arm, or he's
holding the far side?
And nothing on in the collar.
Yeah, so like
he kicks it up.
You know how when you go omoplata, it's like you kick the soccer ball off their head.
I can see what you're saying.
Yeah. So he just goes up and he hooks like right here with his foot, and it yanks your whole body. So if you're pulling the arm and you're yanking the body with your foot, they just go. And this dude was big, and like he gave me resistance. I mean, I couldn't headle on him.
Yeah.
But I mean, he gave me enough resistance where I understood it. So it's something I'm going to try to work on.
That's interesting.
Because if you fail the omoplata, your foot's there, and you just come over, because you got to try to get outside of their arm, so you're just going neck. But you can still get it if you get their arm in there too, just because you got to yank harder if you hit their arms inside.
Interesting.
Yeah. Another reason why.
That's what's cool about meeting other people too. Is you learn little things that you would have never seen before.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's on the internet somewhere, but good luck finding one specific thing that you didn't know you were looking for, that you didn't know you needed. Yeah. So meeting someone that knows, sees, like you roll with someone, and they're like, oh, look, this might help you.
Yeah. The interesting thing about all these guys is it's in Redondo Beach. So a lot of these guys started either with the Machados or the Gracies when they came. When they were still, before the academy got huge like it is now. They all trained in the garages with them and shit like that. So they all have like an idea. They all come from the same lineage that we do.
It's crazy that he's still in the garage.
I don't understand it. I didn't ask them about it much. I would like to. But yeah, they have that garage.
I mean, when you think about it, if you have the accolades
Yeah.
to have people want to train with you. If you have a big enough garage, why spend money on renting a building and all this other stuff if you can just have them come to your house?
Yeah, and like Chris, I don't think his focus is teaching. Chris's focus is like running an association and bringing people up. That's what it seems like online. I haven't really talked to him because you can go online. He's got online courses, and you can be an affiliate. And I know he writes out like lessons and stuff like that. And when you listen to him talk about jiu-jitsu, it's not what he does. It is him. He is jiu-jitsu. He's an artist, and he's jiu-jitsu. If he's not being an artist, he's doing jiu-jitsu. So he has a lot of experience in it. And I think you have to apply to become a member of Combat Base, and you have to get approved. You can't just sign up. I think that's how it works. It's not just a money thing. It's not just money. It's like you have to be approved to go there because it's in their backyard.
They're not that big.
Combat Base?
Yeah.
No. And it's all based on Chris's personality, but he's got a lot of associations, I think. And I think he actually teaches at a couple other schools.
When you say associations, you know if they're like...
He's like Gracie Maita, but it's combat based.
But do they do mostly gyms, or are there other... Does he allow people, like, are other people doing it in their garage as well?
No, I think it's gyms. Yeah. Like Roger Carpenter.
His is the only garage.
Yeah, Roger Carpenter. That's how I met him, through Roger Carpenter.
Yeah.
Roger Carpenter is a combat-based affiliate.
That's cool.
Yeah. So...
that dude's legit. I always enjoy listening to him talk.
I really like listening to him
when he talks, and his knowledge, his depth of knowledge, and what he talks about in sports is pretty deep.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, he had a podcast with another member of the Dirty Dozen, and it was really good. And they're just talking about the old days and shit. And it's funny because I was talking to James about this yesterday, about how we both dislike modern jiu-jitsu. It's boring. Everyone is trying to score on advantages, and they're trying to do all these fancy moves. Our gym is very much stuck in like 1999. And Chris is from that era, so like they're kind of stuck in that. And I think he teaches more modern stuff, but they teach this old method. And I think that old method is kind of dying, but it's still very useful and it works.
Well, I mean, if you look at the people that are successful, I think we've talked about this before, even in the comp stuff, the people that have the foundation on lockdown are way more successful, especially when they go and they try the new fancy shit. Yeah. But as long as they have the foundation that allows them to fall back to that if like some crazy thing doesn't freaking work. They have that fundamentals down.
Well, if you look at when we just watch the Worlds, the heavier weight guys play a game like we play. Yeah. Yep. And even the light people at our gym play the same game. Yeah. So it's not because of our body type, it's because the way we're learning. We're learning this older style of jiu-jitsu. Yeah. And the slider guys play this more modern game, but they're playing the same game. Well, yeah, that's why it's not super effective.
And staying close.
But I mean, like they're both playing open guard with De La Hiva, and they're playing all these fancy things. It's like I would be interested to see like if someone at the highest level, like Tynan, played old jiu-jitsu, and if he could win, he could beat the modern guys. Because like, if you're good at smash passing, people can't berimbolo or sweep you. Like, it doesn't. You can't do it. Yeah. Because there's so much pressure on your body, you can't get free, right?
That's how you get bulging discs.
Yeah. So I wonder if the old methodology could win. I think it can, but I'm ignorant, and plus I like the old style. I'm not trying to berimbolo. Like leg locks, I would love to learn, but I'm not even. I'm more interested in defending them. I'm probably one of the dudes that fuck with leg locks the most at our school. I do them all the time. But I just want to fuck with them, and I usually use them to transition to other things. I don't finish a lot of leg locks. I do them all the time, but I'm usually just trying to grab a toe hold to make you scared where your base moves so I can come back up, or grabbing things like that. I'm not a leg locker, but I would like to learn them. But for me, that's like as modern as I really want to get. I'm not interested in fucking double sit and guard and coming up on advantages.
I like to threaten the knee bar from the over under.
Yeah, because people let you pass.
Yeah, and then they let you pass.
They let you fucking pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly the same thing. It's like, I'm not a great leg locker, but I'll throw them out there like jabs to get you to move.
It's like wrist locks. Sometimes you just spam them just to make people like freak out and move, and you're like, aha!
Dude, the wrist lock is it's the GOAT. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's like that judo dude tried to wrist lock me, and I was like, not today, Playboy. Not today. You got to be about 260 to wrist lock me now, motherfucker.
Oh, at the
yeah. He fucking was like, he went like the one that Roger hit me with all the body weight on my wrist, and I was like, I just had it there, and my wrist was pinned on the ground. And I was like, this ain't it, Playboy. That's actually how I choked him, because I got to side control and I pushed him over and he was defending like frames, but the opposite way, and I grabbed his top hand and I was all, hey, and then he fucking turned back into me and I was like, ha!
Yeah.
I was like, you don't want to fucking play wrist locks to me, because I'll grab your wrist and start to flex your fucking hand. Like, I'm not trying to set that shit up. I'm trying to bully it.
It's like rolling with, man, what's his name? Jessica's husband.
Oh, Ismail?
Ismail. He'll like grab your wrist and just be like, bam! And I'm like, fuck, dude. And he'll chase it. Like, and he chases it. And you're like, fuck.
Yeah, and it opens up other shit. I do it all the time to people.
Yep.
Like, I was rolling with Josue the other day. I think it was Josue. No, not him. I was rolling with somebody. And I pushed him over so they were facing away from me, trying to frame back into me. And I just kept grabbing the hands, pushing them. So it makes them freak out.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you go to where I want you to go. And then,
Yeah, 100%.
yeah, it's just like, think about this. Oh, now I'm here.
Yeah, now I got this.
Yeah.
But that's like the Kimura from S-mount that Omar showed. When you're in S-mount, you go for the Kimura on the bottom arm, and then they go to defend it.
You arm lock
and
them?
then it's like boom.
Yeah.
They just give you the arm bar right off real quick. I've used that a lot. I'm like, man, this is.
But you're north-south, right?
No, you're an S-mount.
Could you even finish Kimura from there?
I don't know if you can finish it.
No, you can't finish it.
But
it's just
you're
it's just
attacking
direct.
it.
Yeah, because you would hit your body.
Yeah. So you're attacking
Yeah, yeah.
it, and then they go to defend it, and then they defend it with that top arm.
Yeah.
And as soon as they defend it, your arm's in, because you're holding the wrist.
Yeah.
Right. And so they go to defend it, and you're like, boom, now I have.
You're
your
doing
arm.
like I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're doing the Kimura like when you lift them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're on S-mount.
Yeah, you lift them. Yes.
And
yeah.
then
That's one that Bobby hits
and then
a
as soon
lot.
as they go defend, you're like, boom, got you.
Yeah.
You played yourself, as you
Congratulations. You played
would
yourself.
say. There you go. Yeah, I've hit that pretty successfully doing that.
Yeah, I was trying to envision it in my head, because if I go to S-mount and I want to hit the armbar, I grab the Kimura grip.
On the arm.
On the arm that I want to arm
Yeah,
bar.
this is on the opposite
because there's
side.
so much fucking strength in the Kimura grip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't grip. Boom. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they basically give it to you because you do it on the opposite side.
Especially.
Is it Americana or is it? Americana's up, huh?
Yeah, it's
so
Kimura.
It's Americana.
No, it's Kimura.
Is it?
Yeah, because the one he's talking about. So normally when you were trying to hit that Kimura, they would be on their back, and
Yeah, but they're on the side.
lift them onto the opposite shoulder to hit it. But when you're when you're in the bottom of S mount,
it sucks anyway.
You're just like defend.
Yeah.
You don't really.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about they can't hit this from here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I try to think that way. It's part of my anti-jiu-jitsu. It's like I got the other day when I was at combat base, one of the dudes tried to mount triangle me, and I just went vampire. And I was like, good luck. You ain't gonna fucking. I was like, I'm not getting mounted triangle in public like this. It's not happening. You're not gonna do it to me. So I grabbed vampire and just fucking put my shoulders flat on the ground. And he's adjusting them, and I just oopa'd and swept him with my hands crossed. Just oopa'd and swept him, and because I went full blast on it.
Base out.
Yeah, because I was like, hey, you could triangle me. You ain't triangle me from the fucking mount.
Yeah.
You ain't doing it from the fucking mount. Not in public, motherfucker.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a good week in general. Then we had a little event yesterday. Shout out to your girl.
I did not get as drunk as I wanted to get.
I was chill. It was weird that it
Did you
got so
drink
cold.
anything?
Yeah.
It did get cold.
Yeah, I had a couple margaritas and a few beers, whatever. But it was been like in the hundreds almost all week,
was like
and then
90.
yesterday was like it wasn't even
85?
90.
It was probably 85?
It was 70.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was like 75 or
shit.
77. That's why I was like, man, it's too cold to go swimming. But like we planned this little event, and like all week it was super freaking sunny and hot, like hundreds.
Yep.
And then the day of it was like 70 degrees, 75 degrees.
Yeah.
And like when it's been so hot too, 77 is a nice day.
Yeah.
But when you're used to it being 100,
Yeah.
it feels cold. You're like, this is cold.
Yeah.
Too cold for water.
Yeah, the event's because my amazing wife graduated college.
Yeah.
Got her
That's
black belt
awesome.
in
In
college.
education? In college?
I don't know.
Didn't you say you got one too, bipartisan?
Yeah, I also have a degree because I helped.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was supporting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
So that's cool.
It's funny. We had a long conversation about that on the way over here, about college and life and shit like that. It was kind of funny. But I mean, she's not done. She got her bachelor's, but she's gonna take like 6 or 8 months off and then try to get into law school.
That'll be a challenge.
Yeah, she got to pass the LSAT, so she's gonna take this next however long to learn the LSAT and then
To study?
for the
Yeah.
LSAT and then trying to get into a law school.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
Is there anything out here? Is she gonna
Closest one I think is Irvine or Laverne. Laverne is in Covina, but Laverne's not accredited. So it's a law school, but it's not accredited.
So it doesn't count towards it.
Yeah, because law school is just
as long as you pass the bar.
It's all it's about is passing the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's not an accredited school, so that they could teach you some shit, and then you don't pass the bar, and then you're like, fuck, I gotta go back to school. You don't have to go to law school.
There was a lot.
If you could pass the bar, you're a lawyer.
Yeah. There's a lot of. There used to be a lot of schools like that for IT. Back in the day, it was like you would go in. They were not accredited, but what they would do is they would call them paper tigers, because they would have, like, there's a lot of certs in IT, and so that's all they would do is like teach you how to pass the certs. So then you'd be someone with no experience, but you have all the freaking certs. So they kind of killed that. I imagine in like that type of realm though, it's probably much more strict because.
Well, I think law school is much like regular college anyway. It's not just about school; it's about the networking side of things, right? And if you're going to go get a job, you want to go to like Southwestern or Irvine or whatever. You want to go to a law school that's accredited. So when you go hand in your resume somewhere else, you're like, I went there. Or I know this is an accredited school. I know they're going to have the basic understanding of what I need them to do. Because when you're a lawyer, you start at the bottom, you know. So you're going to have a basic understanding. I don't think that's the path we're going to go down.
I think that's with most degrees is companies just want to know that you did.
Yeah.
You were able to be disciplined enough to make it through X amount of years to get the piece of paper versus. Because usually, no matter what degree you come out, you're going to start at the bottom. You don't have experience. You just have some fundamental knowledge.
It's to show that you're not a retard and you can show up.
Yeah, and you can show up. Yeah. And you're consistent. Yeah, exactly.
You know what's crazy though? She got fucking straight A's all through college. I think maybe she got 1B in all of college. She got straight A's everywhere. But they do A minuses there. So like one of her classes, she got an A minus, so she didn't get a 4.0. She got a 3.8.
Because she got an A minus.
Yeah, she had
everyone does
I think her. Oh, do they?
Yeah.
So her last semester, it was like 3 A's and an A minus. It's like, bitch, that's still an A. It's gonna be a 4.0.
Yeah.
Stop being a hoe.
Still good.
I should have went and talked to that fucking professor.
Still
Like,
good.
Look at bitch.
Close the door.
Yeah, close the door. But hey, now you can't leave.
You can't leave.
Now you can't leave.
Yeah. I did. You know, what's interesting for me is that in high school, I graduated.
I was good in high school.
In high school, I graduated barely. It was like, I think it was like maybe a 2.0, like barely passed. But then when I started.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but when I started going to college, I think I graduated with like a 3.8 or something like that.
Yeah, it's because you want it. Yeah. I mean, so
because I had to pay for it.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that was it, but it was just weird. It was just.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it just the way life works.
Yeah.
It just was much easier for me to go through college than it was to high school, and all you're thinking about is fucking around in high school.
I my freshman year was pretty bad because I fucking started to understand girls.
Yeah.
But every other year I had, I think I graduated cumulative like a 3.5 or 3.8 or something like that.
Yeah, I barely made it.
I got to go to college for free because of that.
Yeah.
In Nevada, they had a thing called the Millennium Scholarship. If you graduated at a certain grade point out, you could go to any Nevada college for free.
The one thing about California I'll say is it's cool is that if you graduate from high school in California, you get your first 2 years of school for free. So you can get basically up to your associates at a community college.
Yeah.
Which is a huge savings.
That's huge.
Cost, other than you pay for books or whatever, but like cost-wise, that's a lot of money to save just to get that far.
I think if you're, I think you should go to community college because there's no reason to pay $80,000 for your first 2 years.
Right.
And you have to live there. It's mandatory at all universities. You live there.
Yeah, so there's even more.
And you can't have a car, so you can't work.
What?
Yeah, any college, at least in California, if you're a freshman, you can't have a car, and you have to live on campus.
That's crazy. It's money.
Yeah.
Money.
So like Brianna went to community college, got her associates, and then went to UCR, and then now I don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah. I think that's a better path. It's also less. How do you call it? Less. Not that it's any less work, but you don't have that weight on your shoulder of like going to some fucking giant school and like You know what I mean? It's like, it's just like, whatever. I'm
Yeah.
here in community college. It's easier.
Yeah.
Like, the pressure is not
Yeah,
there.
there's no pressure.
Yes, the
Yeah.
pressure is not there. Not that it's easier, but the pressure is not there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, 100%. That's what Nathan's doing right now. So,
That's good.
I mean, it's free. So,
Nice.
you don't leave money on the table.
Yeah.
You never leave money on the table.
Never leave food in your case either. How much you weigh, you fat piece of shit?
Hey. Judging me.
Still? You're still above 220?
Yeah.
Damn, boy.
Yeah.
Damn, boy.
Yeah. It's what it is. Need more cardio. That's
You
my
can't when you're in the Incredible Purple.
Cardio is my nemesis.
Fucking
Yeah.
grimace over here. Dude,
Yeah.
we were sitting there yesterday and you were fucking hitting your fucking thing all day.
Oh, I just hit it at the end of the night. I realized I forgot to take my medicine. At the end of the night, I was like, fuck, I didn't take my medicine.
Sitting there ripping the Benjamin, the fucking the inhaler.
Yeah. Anyways,
That's all I got.
got anything else?
No.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed the shits and like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram.
Get on Facebook.
Get on Facebook.
Trying to get those
Get
dollars.
your grandmas
Yeah.
on Facebook. Tell
Somebody,
your grandmas to
somebody
go.
you know is on Facebook. Go follow us.
Guaranteed. All your older uncles and whatever
Somebody
are
on
on
there.
Facebook. Tell them to go
All
follow
the fucking
us.
Theos on there.
All the Theos.
All the fucking Theos on there.
Yeah. You know they're on there. For sure.
Shout out to the fucking Theo Slayer
All
over
the
there.
old, they all converted from MySpace to
Yeah.
Facebook. They're still on Facebook.
I'm still on MySpace, dog.
Anyways, peace.